The wind whispered secrets through the tall grass as Daniel knelt beside the ancient burial chamber. In his weathered hands he held a worn leather pouch, its contents heavier than gold. Within this pouch lay the key to a forgotten revelation, a story so profound it could shake the foundations of faith. Daniel was no ordinary man. His life had been a tapestry woven with faith and courage, each thread a testament to his unwavering belief. Now at the twilight of his years, he was about to embark on a journey that would test his spirit and lead him to a discovery that would change everything. He descended into the cool, musty chamber, the scent of ages past heavy in the air. Sunlight streamed through a crack in the ceiling, illuminating dust motes dancing in the stillness. There, nestled in the heart of the chamber, was a stone sarcophagus, its surface adorned with intricate carvings of biblical scenes. On the largest stone slab lay the worn leather pouch. Daniel knew instinctively that this moment was more than just an archaeological find. It was a divine appointment. As he carefully untied the knotted leather, the pouch yielded its treasure, revealing a collection of ancient scrolls. Each scroll was like a whisper from the past, its brittle pages holding stories that had slumbered for centuries. With trembling hands, Daniel began to unroll the first scroll, his eyes scanning the faded ink. And as the words revealed themselves, his heart skipped a beat. These were not just writings, they were a revelation, a narrative untouched by time, waiting to be rediscovered. And here's the story that unfolded before Daniel's awestruck gaze. Imagine a world where the whispers of prophecy intertwine with the rhythm of daily life. Picture a young woman named Esther, her name echoing with the hope of a nation. She lived in a time when shadows of persecution loomed over the Jewish people. Amidst this uncertainty, a grand feast was announced, a celebration of power and opulence hosted by the king in his magnificent palace. Amidst the grandeur, a shadow fell. Haman, a wicked advisor, fueled by envy and pride, plotted to annihilate the Jews. His plan, a sinister masterpiece of deception, was to persuade the king to issue a decree granting him authority to destroy the Jews. And with the stroke of a royal quill, Haman's evil decree was set in motion, casting a dark cloud of impending doom over the Jewish community. In the heart of this turmoil stood Mordecai, a wise and faithful man, his spirit anchored by his unwavering belief. He was more than just a commoner. He was a beacon of hope, a protector of his people. When the news reached him, he called upon his cousin Esther, who, unbeknownst to most, was the king's wife. The weight of their heritage, their faith, and their very survival rested on her shoulders. Mordecai implored Esther to take action, to confront the king, to reveal her identity, and plead for her people. But how could she possibly enter the king's court without an invitation? The penalty for such a breach was severe, even death. Yet Esther, driven by love for her people and faith in her heritage, dared to defy the odds. As the fateful day approached, Mordecai rallied the Jewish men, women, and children to fast and pray. Their hopes, their fears, their faith, all woven together in a tapestry of desperation. Meanwhile, Esther prepared herself, not just for a chance encounter, but for a confrontation that could change the course of history. In the depths of her resolve, she decided to risk it all. Esther would approach the king, not with pleas or apologies, but with a banquet, a symbolic gesture of cultural pride. She invited the king and Haman to partake in a feast that celebrated not just Jewish traditions, but the strength of her spirit. The king accepted, and as they sat down to the feast, Esther's courage grew. She laid out the vibrant foods, each dish a testament to her heritage. And she poured forth stories of her people's culture and faith. The king listened, intrigued and captivated. And then came the turning point. With the feast drawing to a close, Esther revealed her identity to the shocked king. Her words echoed with the weight of truth. "I am a Jew." Suddenly the room shifted. The dynamics of power and deception were turned on their head. The tables had turned. Esther didn't just expose Haman's plot, she laid bare his heart, his envy, his pride, and his racism. With each word, Haman's facade crumbled, revealing the monster he truly was. The king, outraged by the deceit and horrified by Haman's treachery, immediately recognized his grave error. And swift justice was served. Haman, stripped of his power and dignity, was hanged on the very gallows he had intended for Mordecai. the tables had turned once again. The Jews were saved, their lives spared, their heritage honored. Mordecai, and in the heart of this triumph, Mordecai and Esther emerged as heroes. Their faith, their courage, and their unity had triumphed over hatred and despair. The story of Esther, also known as the Medulla, is one of resilience, courage, and divine providence. But it's not just a story of the past. It's a living testament to the power of standing up against injustice, the bravery to confront oppression, and the wisdom to navigate the complexities of faith and identity in a world that often tries to diminish it. The story reminds us that sometimes the quietest voices can become the loudest, that the seemingly weakest among us can display the greatest strength, and that faith, when combined with action, can move mountains of hate and prejudice. So why is the story of Esther so important today? Because the echoes of its lessons resonate in every generation. It speaks to those who face discrimination, who fight for equality, and who stand up for justice in a world that sometimes turns a blind eye. You see, the world is still full of Amens, individuals or systems that seek to diminish or destroy communities. The story of Esther reminds us to resist, to fight back, not with violence or hatred, but with the courage of our convictions, the strength of our unity, and the unwavering support of our faith. It's a call to be like Esther, to step forward when our communities are threatened, when our cultures are mocked, and when our very existence is put in jeopardy. It's a reminder that we don't have to stay silent. We can make our voices heard, not just for ourselves, but for the generations that will follow us. Moreover, the story of Esther teaches us the importance of preparation. Like Mordecai, we should always be ready, always be aware of the challenges that may arise. Preparedness isn't just about physical readiness. It's also about spiritual readiness, having faith that guides our actions and gives us strength when all seems lost. It's a reminder to never give up, to keep the faith, and to believe that even in the darkest moments, hope can prevail. So let the story of Esther be a beacon in your life, guiding you when faced with adversity, giving you strength to fight for what's right, and reminding you that even in the most dire circumstances, hope and justice can triumph. It's a call to action, a challenge to stand up, speak out, and make a difference. And who knows, you might just be the Esther your community has been waiting for. In the stillness of the night, the stars seemed to shimmer with newfound brilliance as Daniel finished reading the last scroll. The words of Esther's bravery, King Artaxerxes' magnanimity, and the triumph of good over evil resonated within him like a battle cry. He wasn't just an archaeologist unearthing ancient artifacts. He was a witness to the enduring power of faith, courage, and unity. As the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, painting the sky with hues of hope, Daniel emerged from the burial chamber, his face etched with determination. He carried with him more than just ancient scrolls. He bore the torch of a forgotten revelation, a story that had slept for centuries, now awakened to guide and inspire. The discovery in the desert wasn't just an archaeological marvel. It was a spiritual awakening for Daniel. He realized that these scrolls weren't just relics of the past. They were living messages from history, each page a testament to the strength of the human spirit, the triumph of hope over despair, and the unwavering nature of faith. He felt a renewed sense of purpose, a commitment to share this forgotten revelation with the world. For Daniel understood that the story of Esther and Mordecai was more than just a tale of ancient Persia. It was a timeless narrative that spoke to the struggles of every generation. It's a story that could ignite the spark of courage in the hearts of the downtrodden, the hope of deliverance in the eyes of the oppressed, and the unwavering belief in the goodness of justice. With the scrolls safely secured, Daniel began his journey back home, each step echoing with the weight of his discovery. He knew that he wasn't just returning empty-handed. He was bringing back voices from the past that demanded to be heard, stories that needed to be shared, and lessons that transcended time. His discovery wasn't just an event. It was the start of something bigger, a movement to rediscover the forgotten, to give voice to the voiceless, and to ensure that the stories that had shaped history would not be relegated to the dust of the past, but would continue to inspire, educate, and empower generations to come.